Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
One family is expanding their search to find a donor to save their daughter's life.
Overwhelming would be the word. It's just amazing how many people want to come out and help.
Post-secondary students won't be left out in the cold as the government announces a freeze on tuition.
Can expect to pay about $1,500 less over the course of their degree because of our tuition freeze.
And high school students competing in a robot competition.
All of those separate disciplines that it takes to make a robotics team, we have all of those technology programs here at NAIT.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. A St. Albert family is in search of a bone marrow donor for their daughter.
The family has partnered with post-secondary schools across Edmonton to raise the amount of possible matches. Our Keegan Fleming joins us live from the South Lobby with more on that story.
That's right. 12-year-old Alex Pasichnik was diagnosed with aplastic anemia with a PNH clone back in June, a disease that less than 1 in every million children will be diagnosed with. And potential donors must be between 17 and 35 years old, which is why schools have opened their doors.
Universities and colleges like NAIT, MacEwan, and the U of A have opened their doors to One Match, the program that tests for stem cell and bone marrow matches. So far, the turnout has been more than what the family expected.
Overwhelming would be the word. It's just amazing how many people want to come out and help. Like complete strangers who don't know me or my daughter, but just the goodness in people, and especially students are exactly who we want, the perfect age category and the willingness to help. So,
a bone marrow donor is needed because Alex's condition is one where her body isn't producing enough blood cells. All it takes is some quick paperwork and a cheek swab for the chance to save a life. A chance that university students aren't passing up.
It's pretty messed up that, of course, diseases don't discriminate on how old they are, but it's just pretty messed up that someone that young has to deal with something like this.
I actually just walked into the school to go to class that I have in like half an hour, and I saw that they were doing it, so I decided to get swabbed, and if I'm a match, great.
So at any given time in Canada alone, we have about 1,000 people looking for a stem cell or bone marrow match. Of those numbers, based on our international database as well as our cord blood, we find matches for about 50% of them.
While One Match was here at NAIT, they actually ran out of swab kits because students wanted to help out.
Keegan, where can people go to get the test done to see if they're a match?
Well, the family and One Match are doing another event at Archbishop Jordan High School in Sherwood Park on December 12th from 3:30 to 6 p.m. Or you can go to onematch.ca and get a swab kit for yourself.
Aside from being between 17 and 35, are there any other restrictions?
Obviously, if you have certain health issues, you might not be able to test. However, they are looking for people of Ukrainian, Polish, or English descent because ethnic background does play a role in finding a match. But everyone is encouraged to get tested regardless.
Thanks, Keegan. That's Keegan Fleming reporting live from the South Lobby. Post-secondary students in Alberta are getting a break as the government announces that tuition won't be going up next year.
I hope our announcement today will continue to lessen the stress that students face.
Advanced Education Minister Marlon Schmidt announced the government's decision to freeze tuition for the next school year.
That's why university tuition in Alberta is now lower than the Canadian average. A university or college student looking to start a 4-year degree in Alberta and entering a program with an average tuition rate can expect to pay about $1,500 less over the course of their degree because of our tuition freeze.
The government plans to release more details of the freeze in the coming months.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
With a sudden rise in temperatures this week, Edmontonians have been experiencing icy road conditions.
All the ice on the ground means driving safety is not the only concern people may have. Dana Bredbury has more on that.
Thanks, Jessica and Navi. Now, Edmonton has experienced one of the coldest starts to November, and lately with the warmer temperatures, it's been melting the previous snowfall, leaving icy sidewalks and some close calls for pedestrians.
We kind of went outside before and it felt like a skating rink, As you can see, I was in the back to all of a sudden the front. As I kind of tried to stop, both of my feet hit the ice. Before I knew it, I started sliding and I fell back. Lucky enough, I didn't hit my head. Like maybe 5-10 minutes I was sitting down and I'm like, my back kind of hurts. My head kind of hurts. So that's kind of where that went.
With the amount of ice the city has seen this week, Brett's fall is not uncommon. Luckily, stores like Mountain Equipment Co-op have products to help prevent these slips.
Most city shoes aren't built with soft rubber that most hiking shoes are, so they're inherently slippery on ice. So what they do is they allow you to sort of get a stud into the ground, get yourself a little bit of a base, a little bit of a grounding, and not have to worry about looking at the ground every 2 seconds. You can worry about watching vehicles and crossing the street.
The city is doing its part to keep walkways clear and are asking others to keep their own property safe by clearing and salting sidewalks to avoid ticketing.
Officers can, while on patrol, pick up complaints if they see unclear sidewalks. Most of our complaints come through reporting complaints through the 311 app. Once officers receive a complaint through 311, they will attend the site, they will conduct a physical inspection, and if merited, a ticket can be issued.
As temperatures continue to cool down and warm up, these icy conditions will be sticking around. And slips and falls are preventable to an extent, but it's most important to be aware of your surroundings and use caution outdoors. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Dana. That's our Dana Bredbury reporting.
A popular local greenhouse and cannabis producer are teaming up to produce safe products for medical and recreational cannabis customers.
The world of cannabis is evolving rapidly, and with the
Holzer's Greenhouses, a St. Albert gardening mainstay, officially announced that they will be joining the cannabis industry by partnering with Atlas Growers, a local cannabis producer. The partnership is meant to create a consistent and quality-controlled environment for cannabis products.
If we don't address the recreational side, then who is addressing it? And so when you don't know what you should be growing or what the implications of growing this are, you want to come to a source you can say, well, just tell us on that. What's the scoop? What's the straight scoop on that?
The plants will be grown at a facility in Lac St. Anne County, northwest of Edmonton. Atlas is currently building the facility and expects to have their first harvest ready for sale by the second half of 2018.
There's a new tool designed to help provide families in Edmonton with easier access to benefits. The City of Edmonton launched a new tool this Monday to help low-income families. The You Can Benefit online tool is designed to provide families with easier access to over 30 programs and 120 community services.
They can access to assist them in their day-to-day life and it's providing supports to their family, can go online anonymously and see which benefits that they would be eligible for. So it provides them with an opportunity to screen based on how many kids they have, what kind of benefits they're looking for.
Last year, close to 100,000 Edmontonians were considered low income. The online tool is available at youcanbenefit.ca.
Stockings aren't the only things getting stuffed this Christmas. The 23rd annual ETS Stuff a Bus campaign was launched on Monday with Edmonton students and event attendees loading an ETS bus with food donations.
This is a very important event, particularly as we are in the colder months of the season and entering the holiday season as well, for us to help stock the shelves for Edmonton's food bank. It is a critical year for them, so the timing of this campaign really aligns with helping those in the community this time of the year.
Since it began in 1995, the campaign has collected over 400,000 kilograms of food and $400,000 in cash donations. The goal this year is to fill 15 ETS buses with non-perishable food items.
Our city is recognizing a number of Edmontonians for what they do for our city. The 67th Salute to Excellence Awards took place at City Hall this Monday. The Citation and Performance Awards honored both individuals and groups who have made a contribution to our community as inspirational leaders in arts and culture, sports, and community services.
Their successes inspire others because they have proven that achievement happens in our community. Arts and culture citation recipients show creativity can be used to forge connections that enrich people's lives. They show aspiring musicians, writers, other artists that this is a city of opportunity where expression is valued.
Over 200 performance awards were presented in the past year. The award recipient list for this year's award ceremony is available on www.edmonton.ca.
The Edmonton River Valley may start to look a little different if select Edmontonians get their way. The top 10 finalists for the Edmonton project have been declared. The project asked Edmontonians to pitch ideas to enhance the city. The top 10 range from a Ferris wheel, food truck to an indoor park. A common thread between the finalists is how many of them are hoping to make use of the River Valley in their design.
Edmontonians have a bit of a confusing relationship with the River Valley. We love it. We drive over it in our cars on bridges. We walk on paths beside it, but something about our built environment and how that connects with humanity, there's still a significant disconnect there.
Hanson Clarison says that developing the River Valley, like other Canadian cities have developed their outdoor spaces, could enhance and grow the city's culture.
When it comes to Edmonton businesses getting shout-outs from hit TV shows, stranger things have happened, but that is just the case for one local food truck. Even though Ola La Taco food truck is parked for the winter season, word about this Acadian-inspired gourmet taco truck has been making its rounds. The buzz was generated last Thursday when cast members from Netflix's Stranger Things gave a shout-out in their Thanksgiving-inspired video. The publicity it's brought to Ola La Taco is something that owner Pamela Towers is still wrapping her head around.
Oh my gosh, like I couldn't believe it. Like 3 times I had to watch that video. You know, it was so surreal.
Ola La Taco was inspired by Pamela's late husband, affectionately dubbed Poncho, who is featured on the back of her food truck. This way, she explains, Poncho has got her back. Ola La Taco will be back on Edmonton streets May 1st.
High school students are showing off their robot-making skills with the help of their teachers. The 3rd annual Provincial Robotics Championship was hosted by NAIT last Saturday. Hundreds of high school students from across Alberta competed in this year's challenge called In the Zone. In order to receive points, the robot stacked up to 80 cones on 10 gold pylons.
All of those separate disciplines that it takes to make a robotics team, we have all of those technology programs here at NAIT. Like I say, it gives them a chance to try one, try the other, and find out what would be the best one that would be suited for them.
All of these teams will be coming back for the Alberta Provincial Competition taking place February 19.
Coming up after the break, NAIT celebrates disability with a display of fine arts. How the recognition of this day is important to disabled performers.
I'm so excited that NAIT actually marks this day and celebrates this because I think this is a really important thing.
And in sports, I'm going to be taking a look at both Ooks hockey teams. The men and the women were in action this week. Also, I'm going to be taking a look at the Oil Kings new jerseys as well as FC Edmonton having some news. I have all that and more coming up.
With the holidays coming around, things are starting to light up, but it's not getting any colder. I've got your forecast and more coming up.
I'm late for the game.
Can't go to a NAIT Ooks hockey game? Don't worry. NR92 does a live play-by-play of every home game for men's and women's hockey. Check out nr92.com for more info.
You know, considering how cold the start of the month was, things sure have mellowed out.
And it's been quite slippery this week, too. Truman, what's the weather like this weekend?
Well, it's certainly not going to be as bad as the beginning of November, but while it is getting cooler, it's definitely not getting colder. But we're going to be reaching average temperatures for our December weekend. So starting off in Calgary, we have a high of 3 and a low of -6 with a 30% chance of precipitation. It's going to be partly cloudy. Over in Jasper, we have a high of 1 and a low of -10. 0 chance of precipitation, but it's still going to be partly cloudy, so just be wary of that. And over in Fort McMurray, it's going to be a high of -6 and a low of -11. But there's going to be a 60% chance of snow, and it's going to be cloudy during that time. And over in Edmonton, we got ourselves a high of -2 and a low of -5, with a 0 chance precipitation, partly cloudy as well. And now for our averages, we have a high of -4 and a low of -13. And our records for a record high is +14 in 1941 and a low of -33 all the way back at 1880. But that's all I have for weather this weekend, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend.
NewsWatch Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
NAIT recognized International Day of Persons with Disabilities this week.
The day raises awareness for people with disabilities and the barriers they face. Our Kennedy Schmidt reports.
Help you with anything? Can I do this?
Guest performers, artists, and speakers took center stage at NAIT to share their stories, raise awareness, and support people with disabilities.
I'm so excited that NAIT actually marks this day and celebrates this because I think this is a really important thing.
It's especially meaningful to Angela Marino, a Canadian artist. Marino showcased her artwork at the event that's inspired by living with her mother, who has MS.
I'm healthy, and for me to have someone who I love in that situation, and it just, the whole process of her developing multiple sclerosis and her pushing us back instead of having us come and comfort her, that was an experience in itself. And my art practice is about that experience. It's about my relationship. It's about being raw and honest.
NAITSA put the event on and says that recognizing this day is important for the student body.
A lot of students go through school and they don't get the help that they could use. So we really want to bring awareness to disabilities and ensure that they're getting the services that they really need to excel in school.
Although the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is on December 3rd, NAIT wanted to make this event accessible for students. Events are going to be happening across the province throughout the weekend, with one of the last events wrapping up here in Edmonton on December 4th at the U of A. Kennedy Schmidt, NAIT NewsWatch.
Don't you feel like as Christmas comes closer, sports starts to get more busy?
Absolutely. We are in mid-season form. What do you have for us, Ryan?
Thanks, ladies, and that's right. Sports are in mid-season form, but we're in season-ending form as we're wrapping up here at NewsWatch. But let's get into one more sports segment. The men's Ooks hockey team remains hot after adding another game to the win column. The Ooks came out on top after another rough game here in Edmonton. The kids were out supporting the boys in blue and yellow as they took on the second-place Red Deer Kings in Friday's matchup. Things got a bit heated during the game as both teams combined for a total of 96 penalty minutes on 18 infractions overall. After all the knuckle chucking, the match was eventually decided in double overtime, with Ty Stanton scoring the OT winner.
I don't know where that came from, to be honest. Come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden we got 2 fights, and we haven't had fights in college hockey for a while. But I actually think it was just one of those stoppages where the competitive juices got a little bit overflowed, so to speak. But after that, the game was okay.
The hometown heroes will have some time to rest before their next game, and it's a big one. The Ooks will face the U of A Golden Bears at Northlands Coliseum for Face-Off 2017. The series is currently at 5-2 in favor for the Bears, with the last game being played in '91. The Golden Bears did win that one by a score of 6-0, and proceeds from this game will go to Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. And we'll stick with the sticks and skates. The NAIT women's hockey team are giving their fans a lot to cheer about as they played host to Olds College on Saturday. The women's team looks to stay hot in the month of November with an impressive record of 6-1 heading into this game against Olds. Can they make it 7-1 before the December break? Let's see the first period here. The Slovakian sniper Alicia Milikova, say that one 10 times fast. She gets dumped on the ice but gets back up and buries the waiting rebound on goaltender Jadelyn Spooner, making it 1-0 Ooks. Second period now, Kendra Hansen brings the puck around the net and absolutely wires one home for her 5th goal of the season. Make it 2-0 Ukes. Still in the second here, number 4, Hannah Fullard buries 2 goals just minutes apart from each other, pushing the lead to 4-0. The Ukes would add 2 more in the third, and they win their final game before the break, 6-0. The Ukes have won 9 of their last 10 games and currently sit at first place in the league. And if you're headed to the Oil Kings game tomorrow, don't forget to bring a bear, but don't bring a real one. But it's expected to be a sold-out crowd for the annual teddy bear toss, and the team will be sporting some brand new jerseys.
And this Saturday night when we take on the Prince Albert Raiders is our annual teddy bear toss jersey unveiled on the ice. Bears on the ice.
The jerseys this year are ugly Christmas sweater themed, and fans are encouraged to come to Rogers Place and throw plush toys onto the ice after the first Oil Kings goal of the game. The toys will be donated to 630 Ched Santa's Anonymous as they try and break last year's record number of bears.
Let's beat last year's record. And then we keep doing that, which means we're getting closer to the Hitman's record. And so eventually we're going to break their record. But they've been doing it a little bit longer than us, so we have time to catch up.
Like said, the Calgary Hitmen currently hold the teddy bear toss record with 28,815 bears. Puck drops at Rogers Place on Saturday at 7 p.m., and there are still a few tickets available for the game. And some disappointing news for soccer fans as FC Edmonton announces it's folding the franchise and backing out of the North American Soccer League. FC Edmonton has been a franchise since 2010, and since its birth has gone on to play over 200 league games and has made it to the postseason twice over the last 7 seasons. Owners of the FC Edmonton, Dave and Tom Fath, were unavailable for interview, but released this statement to fans of FC Edmonton. Although we believed in and have supported the NASL business model, our franchise has proven to be unsustainable in the Edmonton market. Our decision today is further reinforced by the continuous uncertainty being forced upon the NASL by the United States Soccer Federation. We sincerely hope the road to long-term stability can be found for the NASL as the NASL pursues the lawsuit against the USSF in the U.S. courts. Well, like we said, it's our last season at NewsWatch, and all of us sports anchors had an awesome time doing a bunch of end zone challenges for all of you to watch. Here are some of our best moments, as well as some bloopers from this season.
Do you have to be on camera later this week? So, I mean, this space is all I have going for me. Like, is this what you guys do before? Oh, okay.
Hire me up, Team Canada. I'm ready to play in the Olympics.
At this point, I achieved ultimate Zen.
See this?
It's crazy to think that that was just yesterday. It wasn't actually, but it felt like it was, you know?
Awesome to look back at all those end zone challenges.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to look back and see not only the fun moments, but the learning moments as well. So.
Coming up after the break, we get into the festive spirit with Santa's Anonymous.
We prepared for the holiday season by sorting out some gifts for kids.
We always need help. We're willing to accept toys year-round. Not only do we help at Christmas time, but we also help in needs of disaster or crisis.
Coming up in entertainment, I've got a bunch of events that are going to get you in the holiday spirit. I've got all that and more coming up after the break.
Take your imagination on a trip. with NR92 Movies You'll Never See, an audio drama that takes you swinging through the jungles of Africa or strolling down the streets of Paris.
Movies You'll Never See on NR92.com, the station for the students.
NewsWatch music provided by Martin Mayer Productions.
Clothing provided by Buller Trucking.
This week in our community, we helped with Santa's list and be sure to check it twice.
That's right, we put our elf hats on and got to work sorting toys over at Santa's Anonymous.
This one though, extra 7 Up, would that go in a box like that? Yeah.
The holiday hustle was in full swing over at Santa's Anonymous this weekend as we volunteered to help sort gifts for kids in preparation for the Christmas season.
We always need help. We're willing to accept toys year-round. Not only do we help at Christmas time, but we also help in needs of disaster or crisis. A good example was the Fort McMurray wildfires. So year-round, we take donations. We love new toys, but if that's not something you want to do, cash is always good.
Some of the most needed toy donations this year include chapter books, board games, crafts and science kits, musical toys, and puzzles.
Can't you believe there are only 23 more days left until Christmas?
Well, considering of all the holiday events that I've seen in the last week, I really can. Let's get some details from Alicia in entertainment.
That's right, guys. It's definitely almost Christmas, and that means a lot of Christmas events, including the annual Festival of Trees. It's back with over 200 Christmas trees. This is the festival's 33rd year, and this year they are donating their funds for the emergency room at the University of Alberta. They hope the funds will allow patients to get into medical care faster with what is called a rapid transfer unit. Although the festival is helping a serious cause, they still want to get people into the Christmas spirit.
We want people to enjoy what we've created, this winter wonderland. It's absolutely magical. And we're hoping that people recognize that it is a fundraiser for the University Hospital Foundation.
The festival has always been a big hit, with 38,000 people attending last year's event. Neighboring says she hopes they can break that record this year. You can get your tickets for the festival at the doors or on their mobile app. Shumka's Nutcracker is performing at an unlikely place to kick off the holiday season. Shumka yet again is bringing a Ukrainian twist on the classic tale of the Nutcracker, but this time made a special performance for the eager kids of Delton Elementary School. Shumka hopes that their performance will leave a lasting memory and smile for these little audience members.
It's always a ton of fun coming in and hanging out with groups of kids, and especially in a more intimate environment like this. Feeling the energy and hearing the reactions from the kids and being able to see the excitement in their eyes as they respond to the magic that we bring. It's something very special.
Hoffman says that this year they will be bringing in some special guest artists from Ukraine to help tell the story of the Nutcracker. If you are interested in seeing the play, you can buy your tickets on Ticketmaster. I took a trip around the world with Cobblestone Tours. The travel show included music and dance from across the globe that was accompanied with Ukrainian food and merchandise. The event was created to raise awareness towards this local business and encourage Edmontonians to travel and explore different cultures.
I think we need to interact more with the people. And what makes a culture, if not for its folk dance, its music, its food, its songs, its language. And you can't get that unless you meet with real people.
Reese says the event has been a big hit and hopes to hold it again next year, possibly even bigger and better. Edmonton officially lit up this weekend with the All Is Bright Festival kicking off. Merry Christmas! The festival began with the streets lighting up on Santa's command. People were invited to participate and watch the many attractions, including fire dancers, concerts, and multiple games and activities. Although the event seems like all fun and games, it is playing an important role in Edmonton's community.
It was really
really to come up with something that supported the Winter City strategy, really to embrace the fact that we can get outdoors in the wintertime and still have a lot of fun, and really celebrate and come together as a community and support a lot of really great organizations and vendors.
The festival has been running for 5 years, and Sarabin says that it grows each year as they introduce new events and entertainment. That's all I have for entertainment. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.
That's all for NAIT NewsWatch.
Happy holidays. Thanks for watching.